Hi, Monica. How are you today?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. This is dual recording. It's a video which will go out on YouTube, but also we are recording this for Teachers Talk Radio, and this interview will go out on Teachers Talk Radio as well. First of all, I thought maybe, obviously you are Monica Geldart, but I thought maybe you could introduce yourself in terms of what it is you do, first of all.
Let's go for it. Absolutely. So, I'm Monica Geldart and I create skits via TikTok. I share them on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and YouTube. I think I'm probably most known for my teacher skits, but also I create student ones as well, just kind of taking the mickey a little bit, having a bit of fun with it and stuff like that. So that's me.
Sweet. I clicked on your profile on TikTok and you've got nearly 1 million followers. Can you explain that one, how that happened?
So, right, TikTok's a bit of a funny one. So I actually never really used the app. And I used to work in a high school. And the kids used to say to me all the time, they used to be like, Miss, have you got TikTok? Have you got TikTok? And I was like, no, not got TikTok. And you'd always catch them like doing their little dances in the lessons with their phones. You're like, put your phone away, girls. And that's what I thought TikTok was all about, just like doing dances and stuff like that. But then when lockdown hit last March, I was sent home from school, obviously when the school shut. And I was like, I'm gonna have to see what it's about. I'm so bored at home. I was like, I'm gonna have to see what TikTok is about. So I started like going through videos and I saw people doing like these lip syncs, to like TV shows, stuff like that. So that's where I started. I started just doing lip syncs to TV shows, films, stuff like that. And then like I was going through TikTok more, kind of learning what it was about and what people did on there. And I saw people creating skits of all sorts, schools, like retail, working in a bar. And I was like, oh, now that is something I can get behind. And I was like, I love the idea because I've trained to be an actress as well. I was like, right, this is the perfect opportunity to try and like get some acting out there. So yeah, it just started doing really well. I started doing the teacher skits, I think in last August, and then it just started taking off. And the followers, it's gone a little bit mad to like think about how many people want to watch and like support you. So it's crazy.
That's amazing. And I know that I've read in a couple of interviews that you've done in the past, and you said that one of your inspirations behind your videos from a comedic point of view is Victoria Wood. But is there anybody else beyond her? Like I've seen a few of your videos and I wonder whether Ricky Gervais, I wonder whether David Brent's got some. I've heard you saying a couple and there's your evidence or something like that. And I thought that's a David Brent.
Yeah, I love Ricky Gervais, big fan of his work. I think he's brilliant. So definitely, and I get that comment quite a lot as well, being like, I sense a bit of David Brent here. And then I'm a big fan of Catherine Tate when she used to do her sketch shows and stuff like that. So I am quite big on the comedy. I like comedic acting and comedians and stuff like that.
So just coming back to your kind of background then, because what's a question that's actually coming through Twitter from Garrett Story at Gman Story says, I want to know, was Monica actually a teacher? Because her impressions are so on point. So what you said you had to go home because of lockdown last March. So what's the education story here? And maybe at school, maybe if you could talk about school and then into beyond.
Yeah. So I finished year 11. And I went into sixth form at the school I was at. I just stayed at the same place. And I did 2 years of sixth form. I did theatre studies, English language and media, so all kind of surrounding the same thing. Did year 12, then year 13, and it was the final parents' evening. I was speaking to my drama teacher and she was like, what's your plans? What are you going to do next? And I was like, I have no plans. I knew that university wasn't the right thing for me. I knew that wasn't the right avenue, but I didn't have a plan. And she said to me, she was like, we have a job here at school, which one sixth former will do each year. It's like a gap year where you can kind of figure out where you want to go. It's an arts technician job, so you work in music, drama and art. You'll help prep lessons, you'll help with school trips, you'll help with the school show, all the kind of bits and bobs. And I was like, oh, right, okay, amazing. Yeah, 100%. That sounds perfect. And I can try and start and get my life together and figure out a direction as to where I want to go, because I was a little bit lost. I knew I wanted to act, that's what I've always wanted to do. But drama school as well, a lot of them were down in London. I was only 18, I couldn't fund that, so I needed a year.
Where were you, by the way? What part of the country?
Harrogate, so North Yorkshire. So it's, you know, quite a long way away. And being 18 in drama schools, I think often they like people with a bit of life experience. At 18, you're still very young. So I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And then, so I started working there. I worked there for a year. In that year, I applied for drama schools and I got all my auditions through. And then I just had like a complete like panic, and I was like, I can't do them. Like this, I can't go and do it. I just felt like it wasn't the right thing. So I cancelled my auditions and I didn't even end up going. And I stayed at the school I was working at for 4 years. And I just left last summer for school break. I decided it was time to leave. So that's kind of the journey it took. And then, you know, through being an arts technician and staying there for longer than just a year, the job kind of developed and became more. I did a lot of TAing, I did a lot of covering, so that teacher streak definitely came through a little bit.
Straight in my head is that, excuse me.
It does. I know, it just came out. It honestly, it comes out when you're teaching. You don't mean it to, but you're like, I'm using the phrases that the teachers use.
Can you do like, I mean, if so, presumably people say to you, oh, Monica, can you do that one where you do that? Do people
They'll be like, yeah, people go, can you do the please? And can you get, girls, excuse me? So I'm like, oh God. And then I start doing it like normally, like if I just have a conversation with my friends, and one of my friends, she always goes, right, turn it off because you didn't teacher. So I'm like, oh God, sorry.
Because I mean, we will talk about, because I've got some we're going to share a couple of your videos in this kind of interview so we can look at them, a few of my favorites that I've picked from your collection to show. But that's interesting that you were there for 4 years. What I'm wondering is, you know, because when, for example, you've done like the student videos, you know, where you're a kid, right? I'm wondering, were you good in school? Or...
I was a delight. No, I was really quiet actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was really quite quiet, not with like my friends, but just in lessons I kind of like would always keep my hand down, and I just used to kind of be away with it. I just used to sit in lesson and just daydream about all sorts of stuff. So I think in sixth form I probably got a little bit louder, but yeah, I was just kind of like got my head down and got on with it really. I just used to want to be in drama all the time. How
have people like your peers from back then, how have they, if you were more quiet back then, how have people in your kind of peer group, maybe not even friendship group, but peer group, reacted to what you're doing now? Have they been surprised by that, or have they just been like, oh yeah, we could see that?
I think people always knew that, like, because I was always like part of the school show and I was always doing drama bits. So I think people always knew that, you know, that's kind of her path, that's what she wants to do. But yeah, I think things like this, I think because it's through social media, they kind of, you know, it's cropped out of nowhere almost, and it's become like, oh, I think people are like, oh, that's that girl from school, yeah, oh yeah. But the friends that I have now are all my friends from school, so they've kind of like been on like seeing the whole journey go through, which is really cool, and they're like amazed, like they're so cool, they're so supportive, they're just like, oh, it's crazy. Like,
there's actually a question here from Laura Webb, who's an English teacher on Twitter. She's at Laura Lolder, I think. She says, did you do teacher impressions at school?
All the time.
Oh, did you?
All the time. Not to the teachers.
No.
But yeah, I used to do impressions of teachers all the time to my friends. Yeah, just at lunch and stuff. Yeah, not thinking that I'll go on to like do that, but yeah, I did. I always did.
That's so funny. So it's interesting that about you working for so long in there. Let's actually look now at one of your. It's probably one of my favorite clips that you've done so far. So let's have a little look at this now.
Miss, why have you just pulled me out of lesson? That's literally the only lesson I like in this school. What? No, I didn't. I didn't call her that. What, on Snapchat? No, I didn't. Prove it then. we've been hacked. That wasn't me. I didn't say that. Oh my God, me, sir. I swear to God, if you just got me out of that lesson, just have a go at me. I'm going to go home. I literally will walk home. I'm not even bothered. I'll literally walk home. What? Oh my God, how am I being awkward? How am I being awkward? Yeah, but how am I being awkward though? No, I'm not. Why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? Oh my God, this school's actually a joke. Even my mum says it is. Well, give me detention then. I'm not bothered. I want to move schools anyway. I'm moving schools anyway, so I'm not even bothered. School is literally a joke. Get out my face. Get out my face. Oh, you stress me out. Gosh, she's awful, isn't she?
Oh my God. The obvious question is, I'm guessing that's based on an amalgamation of experiences that you've had, maybe since even being in school, after school, whatever. But when I posted it on my Twitter, obviously nearly 1,000 people liked it, loads of comments, like everyone was like, this is it. This is it. Like, this is it. This is teaching, right, in a nutshell. So I'm wondering whether, is that a particular character? Is that a particular idea you've had for a character, or is it just random and you just like, I'm gonna go with this?
I think the student TikToks, like that particular character, they're like oh well, I'm moving schools anyway. Like, I feel like there was always that one in school that was always moving schools. She was always leaving school anyway, and her mum didn't like the school either. There was always that one kid, and I think you definitely notice it more when you're working at a school, because you almost like on the outside of the students looking in. So you see it more from the angle. So I think it's probably like a mixture of quite a few students mixed into one, but just all those classic lines have been like, oh, school's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering on the videos, how many takes do you do on the videos?
Oh, well, so sometimes I find them best if I just improvise them straight away, because then it's a bit more raw and it's a bit more naturalistic. But I can get a bit like picky with it, and I can become a bit of a perfectionist, and I'll be like, oh no, that's not quite right, and then I like refilm it. So it can take me sometimes just a minute to try and go, right, let's just try and put something together, we'll see where it goes. Or I can do a bit of like filming and I think, oh no, I don't like the route that's taken, I want to kind of go a different way with it. So it kind of depends, but usually I have a bit of an idea in my head as like a start, middle and an end as to where it's kind of going to go.
Yeah, so I'm guessing some of them you kind of mess it up a number of times before it's
all
done.
the time. Yeah, I get bloopers together of stuff that I like, trip over my words, or I say things and I'm like, what did I that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So yeah,
I know we mentioned, going back to what you said earlier about Tate and Gervais or whoever, and just thinking about comedy in general, are there any particular skits or sketches, like in particular, maybe a show or a sketch or something that's really resonated with you and maybe inspired you to go on? I mean, what, when you were younger, maybe, I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think of what things you've seen that set you off.
Yeah, I think the Catherine Tate show was a massive one. Obviously, Lauren Cooper. I think that character there that we've just seen is very similar to the Lauren Cooper, mouthy and got an answer for everything. But I just I get more inspiration from people that I've had experience with, or like people that I know. A lot of the teacher character that I play with the pleas and the girls is actually a teacher that I worked with. She was in the drama talk. She was a drama teacher, and she's just like one of the funniest people that I've ever met. And she was such an amazing teacher, but she never took herself too seriously, and she would kind of have a laugh with the job, which I think is important. And she had such a relationship with the kids, and she would just take the mick out of herself a little bit. So I get a lot of like the way that I speak and the way that I do things is kind of from her. So I think inspiration, probably from people that I've met and experiences that I've had myself.
I was going to ask you actually your favorite teacher in school, and whether that teacher maybe inspires you in some way to do this. Is that maybe, was that someone you worked with, or was that someone at school who taught you?
So I actually just worked with her. So she started working there the year before I did. So I was in sixth form, so I didn't actually have her as a teacher. But my drama teacher that I did have as a teacher, and then she went on to be my boss, my line manager, because she's the one that said, look, come and do this job as an arts technician. So that was always a little bit weird, like adjusting from that teacher role to line manager role. But she definitely plays a big part as well, because she was kind of with me throughout my whole school life. She had me since year 7 till sixth form. So, and then until like very recently, so we were always very close, and I just picked certain things from certain teachers that I think, oh, that's quite funny, and oh, I remember when you did that. So yeah,
I mean, if I was to, and don't worry, we can edit this out if you want, but are there any particular, you know, if I was to ask you now to kind of run through a bit of a show reel of some of your kind of favorite phrases or maybe sketches you've done live, are there any that you'd kind of pull out the bag now that you maybe do with friends that make them laugh all the time?
I think, do you know what I do? I do impressions of people all the time because I'm a people watcher, and I always seem to notice like little things that people will do, you know, little habits or the way that they'll say things. So I'm always doing impressions, and I think just the main ones that are like just the teachers that I had, you know, some of them, like they would speak so quietly and softly, but almost like trying to shout. And then, like, you know, you just get the teacher that's just so stressed all the time, and it's just an absolute nightmare. And so I just would notice like these massive different characters of teachers, and I just used to think like, you could make a whole show on these teachers and these kids just being characters. They're just like so full of life. I just think it's brilliant.
That's a great idea, and that actually brings me on to a question from Seb on Twitter, who said, number one, when did you realize you were an internet sensation? When did you realize, because I mean, you know, I've seen you did an interview for the Daily Mail, that was a while ago, but I'm wondering when it kind of hit, you were like, I'm doing something here.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even say I'm an internet sensation now. I think that's like crazy.
I'm quoting him.
So that's very kind.
I
But
would say nearly a million. I mean, I don't know how TikTok works, but like nearly a million followers on TikTok is TikTok. Not insignificant.
No, it's amazing, like it is, and it doesn't. It's not really hit home. I don't think that, like, obviously, like, if you put a million people in a room, that's a lot of people. You know, if you stand up in front of a million people, that's like crazy. So it hasn't really hit. I just feel like so grateful and so like pleased that many people enjoy what I do. And I think, you know, I think a massive part of it is just having a laugh. And like I always say, like over the past year it's been so uncertain and quite scary and overwhelming, and I think when you can just escape somewhere to just have a bit of a laugh, then that's what it's all about. So I just feel really pleased that I'm having that effect on people, is to just have a bit of a laugh and escape from reality, I guess.
So I suppose this leads on to his other question, which is, do you plan to go into stand-up? And do you have any, what are your plans moving forward? Like, what are you going to do?
Stand up, I've been asked that a few times. I've never really considered stand up or thought, oh, that's something I'll do. My ultimate goal is to act professionally. That's what I want to do. I have an agent. It's focusing. So hopefully to get some auditions. I think the thing is with the acting industry, obviously it's not really one you can plan. It's very in the moment, you know, right place, right time, right audition, doing well. So I almost feel like I can't pre-plan it. But at the moment, I'm just going to keep going with my videos and see where it gets me, and just keep pushing the acting and try and get on that path somehow. I think that's kind of my.
I would love a show, you know, a kind of a, like you said, I think it would be quite cool to have, you know, a show where you've got your collection of teacher characters in a school and then the kid characters and you're playing them all. I could work quite well.
I
suppose slightly darker question, I guess, is, and I know this, you know, personally as well, is you've got a lot of social media traction and followers now, and you know, have you had any experience of trolls or any experience of, you know, that negative side of social media, you know, at all, or you know, because of what you do, is it more, well, actually, you know, there's not much people can say, or have you encountered that?
Yeah, oh, definitely I have. And I think what it is with the negativity, I think if you put yourself out there, you put yourself online, you shouldn't have to, but you almost do have to expect it. You're always going to get people that don't like it, that don't find you funny. And I completely appreciate that. And I get that. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Of course it's not. Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's going to get it. And you just kind of have to think that you know, that's fine, that it doesn't matter. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion completely. If they feel the need, then they have to voice it. Then I don't know. I think, you know, if you don't like something, don't watch it. But I think, like I said, the main reason I'm doing it is because I enjoy it. And then for those people that enjoy watching it and giving them a laugh, that's what it's all about. So I think, you know, the good outweighs the bad, and you kind of have to take the rough with the smooth and go with it, because like I say, you're always going to get people that don't like it, and that's absolutely fine. But you kind of just have to ignore it. If I see like a negative comment, I usually just delete it, because I just think, oh, you know, if you don't like it, don't watch it. No one's forcing you. So you kind of have to just take it all in your stride. I think probably when I got my first few negative comments last year, when I just started, I was like, oh God, this is not very nice. Like, people are so mean. But now I just think, oh, you know, it's whatever.
Do you think you pass a bit of a threshold once you've done so much content and so many people have liked it? Do you think you kind of get to the point, well, yeah, that's just part and parcel, let's get on with it?
Yeah, you do. And, you know, say out of like 1,000 comments, you might get 11 negative. Yeah. You know, the ratio is just massive, isn't it? So like, it is hard to not look at those few and think, all right, okay, but you have to think, well, do you know what, those 11 people, they might not like it, so they can just keep scrolling and look at the next video. It's really not that deep. Do you know what I mean? But people do get very negative, and people, you know, get very nasty, and everyone on social media, I think, receives some kind of negativity. But
definitely I don't think it's necessarily about kind of followers and all that. It's about just being on social media. I think anybody can get you know, a pile on, or you know, the negatives, but you know, yeah, it's I guess it's mentally how you deal with that. And you seem to be able to, from what you've just said, you seem to be able to put it in a box and kind of just
switch it off. I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe important from the comedy angle as well, like you say, because some people aren't going to necessarily like what you do, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. It happens, isn't it? And then you got to think, well, you know, I watch things that people find funny, and I don't. So everyone, you know, enjoys different things and stuff. So it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Monica, I think, I've got a few more comments people have made before we kind of finish off. So Hayley T on Twitter said, tell her how bloody spot on her netball video was. It made me cringe, as that's probably been me on many occasions. Let's watch the netballing one.
Oh, let's do it.
I've managed to get that one as well. So we'll look at the netball one, because I like the netball one as well.
Do it.
Yeah. If it's the right one. I know you've done a couple of PE ones, but this is the one I liked anyway.
Right, girls, can we listen up, please? Yeah? We are on netball today, okay? So you guys, can you just get a ball and go over there, please, okay? But just get a ball and go over there. Okay, right, where are my actual netball girls? Where are my netball girls? Right, come over here, guys, come over. Are you all right, guys? Yeah, what you been up to? Have you made up with Becca yet? Have you not? No. Did you? You can't do that. What did you say? Oh, God, you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. I'm a teacher. I don't want to know. What did you say? Did you? Right, guys, can we get on over there, please? Okay, we just stood about chatting, apparently. Yeah, get on with it, please. Right, I'm working with you guys today, okay, because you actually know what you're doing. Yeah? Do I have any teacher gossip? No, I don't, unfortunately, but I'll get some. Yeah, right, come on, girls, we need to get on with the lesson, right? Distracting me, distracting you. Okay, what was that?
Yeah, I love it. It's superb.
You know, I was completely the girl that was just put over there. Girls, go over there, take that ball, go over there. I was like, okay. Yeah, sports and me, we didn't really mix very well.
But Hayley's actually a PE teacher, and she said, tell her how bloody spot on her netball one was. It made me cringe, that's probably been me on many occasions. I think she's being honest there as well. Also, we had a comment from Nicola, who's at Nicola_DEU on Twitter. She said her impressions are so good, it makes me cringe thinking I'm like that. Ella, she's amazing. And the thing is, I think everybody can relate to, you know, to the videos as a teacher, because everybody does that stuff.
Yeah.
Are there any? Is the one that's maybe, just to wrap up? Is the one that you, or a few that you've done that are maybe your favourites? You know,
I think the PE teacher one is definitely a favourite of mine, just because I can just picture it happening in my head from when I was at school. I can really picture it all. And then I did quite like the one of the teacher popping into a classroom, pops her head around the door, and she's like, "Oh, is this your class?" Because you just picture it, don't you? And they do, and they come in and they're like, "Oh, hello, you're right." Like a little bit of fame, like, "Hi, well, I know you don't know from my class." And I just think people like something that's relatable, and people can look back on their school days and think, "Oh my God, yeah, I remember that." Or, you know, kids at school now are teachers, and I think they think, "Oh my God, yeah, I do that. I do that without noticing."
Talking of the teacher interrupting the class one, let's watch that one, because I love it as well.
Hi, miss. Hi guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask you to just keep it down. It's very loud, and I have my year 11s next door. They're doing an assessment, in silence, and unfortunately all we can hear is the racket going on in here. Okay, and I hate to come and be a spoil sport. I can see, oh, you're doing your Kahoot, which must be great fun. But if you could just, keep it down, maybe work in silence as well, that would be great. So yeah, year 11s are next door. Very important. Yeah, their exams are around the corner, so if you could just yeah. Okay, guys. Sorry, guys. All right, you're doing a great job, miss. Thank you.
I just love that ending. Listen, Monica, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks ever so much for taking the time out, because I know you're busy as hell. So thanks for
no, thank you for chatting to me. It's been great.
Thanks for doing an interview. It'd be great to hear from you again, maybe when you're like a superstar. Yeah, I did that video on YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, thanks ever so much, and keep up the amazing work.
That's fab. Thank you so much.
Keep making the teachers laugh, because we need it.
Oh, that's what it's about, isn't it? I will.
We need it. Cheers.
Thank you.